Inappropriate.
Really?
Get ready.
I am going to save my brother.
Robots helping humans.
I know, it's nuts. No offense.
Get it all the time.
The Electric State, based on the novel by Simon Stålenhag, directed by the Russo brothers, starring Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. An orphan teen hits the road with a mysterious robot to find her long-lost brother, teaming up with a smuggler and his wisecracking robot sidekick.
When the robots deviated from their assigned task, we banished them to the Electric State.
Hey there, well there, it's Rogue here. I had never heard of this novel, but the trailers seem interesting enough and I decided to check it out. Let's start with the positives.
The bot rebellion was ugly.
They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't blink. I blink.
I think that the world this film takes place in is very interesting. The first act is a lot of fun because there is world building and the audience is being introduced to where we are at. Now, this isn't an original idea by far, but it is a fresh take that was interesting while it lasted. The opening scene is a lot of fun because you're just plopped into this world and it's an interesting world. It has several standard sci-fi elements, but it was still interesting being introduced.
I am not dying of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch!
I actually like this song.
The music in this movie is really good. There's a little bit of everything from all different decades, and I think the music choices are pretty good. The Russo brothers are known for having good music in their movies, and The Electric State is no different. Stanley Tucci is also in this film, and he gives the best performance out of everyone. He's playing this Steve Jobs-like character.
You famously never owned robots, did you?
I never trusted them.
It's pretty funny when his character is introduced. It's really similar to how his character in The Hunger Games is introduced. There's an interesting scene with Stanley Tucci. It's something that's been explored already in several sci-fi films, but it's just interesting the things that are being set up in this movie, especially during that first act.
Robots helping humans.
I know, it's nuts. No offense.
Get it all the time.
My final positive is Woody Harrelson as Mr. Peanut. Woody Harrelson's voice acting in this movie is pretty good. It sounds nothing like his original voice. Woody Harrelson and Stanley Tucci give the best performances out of this movie. Unfortunately, they have small roles. Let's discuss the aspects of the film I feel mixed about.
They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't blink. I blink.
The Electric State is technically a period piece because this film takes place during the 90s. I am placing it here in the mixed category because I feel like The Electric State did not do a good enough job of transporting the audience into the 90s. There are certain staples iconic to the 90s that are used throughout this film, like hair, music, and clothing, but it just doesn't really feel like the 90s.
This bot knows where to find my brother. I want him back. Humans and bots fighting against the real enemy.
Oh, I like the way she thinks.
Millie Bobby Brown gives a decent enough performance. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't good. She's young though, and I do think there is a lot of potential for her. Millie's character is looking for her brother, and that's basically the MacGuffin for this movie. Now, it kills me to have him in the mixed category, but I have to be honest. Giancarlo Esposito did not give his best performance in this movie. I won't go as far as saying that he phoned in his performance, but I will say he was just barely trying. Now, I have not seen his entire filmography, but out of what I have seen, I can say without a doubt, this is Giancarlo Esposito's weakest performance. It's not bad, but it's also not good, and I'm used to him giving these incredible performances.
Bot rebellion was ugly. When the robots deviated from their assigned task, we banished them to the electric state. 200,000 square miles of secure territory.
The plot and the subplots are interesting, but they're never fully realized to their greatest potential. There's also some light social commentary that could be interesting, but it also does not reach its fullest potential. The setup was there, but the execution was lacking. I had the thought that this is the perfect waiting room movie. Specifically, a waiting room that will have a lot of children, like maybe the waiting room of a children's dentist office. All right, I'm starting to lightly roast this movie, so let's go ahead and jump into the negatives.
Is it loaded?
Yes, sir.
Well, then I'll pay the tip. What's wrong with you?
Took your freaking time, didn't you?
Cool your jet.
Chris Pratt is wearing a terrible wig. I mean, this thing looks bad. And he's also wearing a handlebar mustache that looks really bad. I mean, he looks completely goofy this entire movie.
Inappropriate.
Really?
Ke Huy Quan is also wearing a bad wig, but nowhere near as noticeable. Worse than a bad wig, Giancarlo Esposito has a bad haircut. It reminds me of the Edgar haircut. The robots have a very unsettling appearance to them. I think that the CGI looks fine, but the character designs are just off-putting for me. The robots range from being unsettling to creepy to strange looking.
Yeah. Incoming!
Ke Huy Quan is a good actor, but lately he has been giving very subpar performances. I think he needs to become more picky with the roles he is accepting and remember quality over quantity. He plays both a human and a robot character. I prefer his robot character, but we don't get very much time with it. Instead, we spend most of the movie with his human character.
Hey, you. Hands up. Turn around. That a Cosmo bot?
More than just a bad wig, Chris Pratt gives a bad performance in this movie as well. He has several lines of dialogue that is supposed to be funny, but the delivery is just not there and it's not funny whatsoever.
They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't blink. I blink.
That line that I just played is easily the worst one because the delivery just isn't there, the joke doesn't land. And it's also a reference to one of the most iconic moments in the Terminator franchise, and it just doesn't land. Nothing lands. I did not care about these characters at all, especially not the robot characters. The only robot character that was mildly interesting was Woody Harrelson's Mr. Peanut. This movie is also way too long. It's just barely over 2 hours, but it is a long 2 hours. I had started to check out, so I decided to pause the movie and see how much time I had left. And I had 50 minutes left. I'm not even kidding. Just barely past halfway, and I was ready for this movie to be over. I had to take a break and come back to this movie the next day. Basically, I watched half this movie one day, and the next morning I watched the other half. The second half of the film was a struggle for me. I really wanted it to be over. This movie isn't boring or bad. It's just extremely mediocre. It overstays its welcome with a runtime that needs at least 30 minutes removed. A talented cast that is not even trying or giving their weakest performance. But there were some really interesting ideas here, and I can see the potential that the novel has to produce a good movie. The Russo brothers did not give us a good adaptation.
You want to go get your brother back? I'll go with you.
Overall, I thought that The Electric State was a chore to get through, but it did have potential, and I can see children enjoying this movie. I am taking into consideration that this film is straight to streaming, so with that, I am going to give The Electric State a Rogue Reviews 4 out of 10.
Oh, I like the way she sings.
Join my Rogues Gallery by clicking the subscribe button. A big thank you to everyone who made it to the end of the video. Give this video a like and leave a comment down below to show your support. And follow me on Instagram at Alexis Has Gone Rogue.